will be speaking matters FDC and Serere. Now let's go to those who did very well in PLE. After all, they are leading the bulletin, aren't they? Sheila?
Thank you, Samson. In our top story tonight, President Yoweri Museveni has asked the judiciary and all other government entities to stop fronting money as a basis for extending services to the population. The president, while opening the 24th Annual Judges Conference, was responding to a request by the Chief Justice Alphonse Owiny-Dollo on the need to consider a corresponding budgetary allocation to the judiciary if it is to accomplish their 5 goals of the 2020-2025 strategic plan.
By a team led by
During the opening of the 24th Annual Judges Conference, Chief Justice Alphonse Owiny-Dollo said strategies require established and corresponding budgetary allocation, which the judiciary beseeches from the President.
Once we have the requisite budgetary provision, we can and we will make a difference in rendering justice in this country. I've always said, and I reiterate here today, it is possible, it is not beyond our means.
According to Dollo, the need for constitutional mandate for speedy delivery of justice will continue to persist as long as the judiciary remains understaffed.
If the judiciary budgetary provision could permit me to recruit 20 High Court judges annually, in the midterm, we would reduce this elephant in the room to zero.
In his response, President Museveni said the public has to access the required justice with or without money.
Should we say that a country without money will have no justice? What if you don't have enough money? Yet,
according to the President, the current state of national coffers requires Ugandans to put the money element aside when accomplishing tasks and desist from seeking refuge in external forces.
if you want to tell me that you are just talking, I can tell you that I've been leading an army for the last 50 years. From 1971, I've been leading an armies. Most of the time without money. I can't be guarded by the UN. UN will never come here in Uganda to guard us. We can defend ourselves. Money or no money.
In the 2021-2022 Annual Judicial Report, the judiciary received up to 800 billion shillings, part of which money was meant for recruitment of judicial officers and expansion of court circuits across the country.
When I met CJ the other year, we set a target of 800 billion shillings.
The Judicial Service Commission has already commenced the process of recruiting more judicial officers. 2 for the Court of Appeal, 11 judges of the High Court, 6 registrars, 14 deputy registrars, 8 assistant registrars, 13 chief magistrates, and 71 magistrates grade 1.
Linda Nduwumwami, Adam Nuwamanya, NBS, Live at 9.
For that story and much more, log on to www.nowpost.co.ug. Many more stories are running on there. Back to NBS, Live at 9.
Thank you, Samson. Moving on, the Select Committee probing irregularities at the National Social Security Fund has set tomorrow Tuesday as the day to start interrogating the witnesses in the matter. Among the key concerns highlighted by the committee chairperson, Mwini Mpaka, is establishing whether there was political interference.
12 stakeholders, including the whistleblowers, Workers' Union, Workers' MPs, Federation of Employees, former Managing Director for the fund, Richard Byarugaba, Minister of Finance, among other key stakeholders, have been lined up for investigation with the
when it comes to the corruption and the kickbacks that she claims the Mr. Byarugaba allegedly took.
Among the critical grounds for questioning is political interference by responsible officials and unknown characters accused of corruption in form of kickbacks and mode of appointment of staff.
First, to establish whether this dual management is actually causing problems in the existing law, but most important of all, whether we are having political interference in running this fund that is affecting or if there's someone bypassing certain procedures to do things in his or her interest. General Saleh as one of the stakeholders to meet, because we don't see any responsibility General Saleh has at NSSF as required by the law. So we do not find it relevant for him to appear before the committee in that regard.
The committee chair said the investigation is critical, especially interfacing with the NSSF staff, citing a case where one of the employees at the fund forged documents.
We have also come across a case at police that was handled internally, where a national ID was forged by one of the staff at NSSF, and this money was withdrawn. So want any other person with such similar issues to come up and present them to the committee.
Shamim Navakoza, NBS, live at 9.
Thank you, Shamim. Moving on, a section of legislators are asking the government to consider retabling the long-awaited bill against homosexuality if this vice is to be wiped out of the country. The tough-talking legislators say the increasing reports of homosexuality in Uganda are not only a threat to the African culture, but also people's lives.
The increasing reports of homosexuality in the country compelled the Deputy Speaker Thomas Taiwa to direct the Committee on Education and Sports to investigate the vice and come up with recommendations to Parliament.
To what extent will this report be implemented?
But to some legislators, the investigations by the committee may not be so binding to those practicing this vice, hence the need to retable the long-awaited bill on homosexuality.
We did pass this law, but unfortunately, court quashed the bill, and it could not be implemented. But looking at what is happening in secondary school, in primary,
would have been brought here in the country just last year or 100 years ago than waiting for it up to this moment.
Not every law should be written and should be in pen and paper. Some laws are already implied by our cultures and religions. These particular religions came from the white men that came here in Uganda and told us how we should be.
These legislators are now asking religious and education institutions to join efforts and fight this vice.
I think we should open very many fronts. The church people should come out. All religions should come out. Leaders of various categories should come out. Running institutions should come out. Everybody, every Ugandan should come out and fight this vice, because you don't know who the victim is going to be the next day.
So it is high time that the role of a parent, the role of institutions should start coming out now.
The legislators also want the judicial officers to start considering the issue of African norms and culture in their judgments related to issues of human rights.
Much as the other time they ruled as per their discretion, but I call upon them that this time let them also join the battle. They also have children. They also live in this society. They never can know who the next victim is going to be.
Homosexuality, lesbianism, any gay behavior is unheard of it here in Africa, and we shouldn't tolerate it. It should be equivalent to treason.
Parliament first passed the anti-homosexuality bill in 2014 that was spearheaded by the then MP David Bahati and was assented to by President Yoweri Museveni, but later quashed by the courts of law. Alex Mugasha, Sam Ibanda Mugabi, NBS, live at 9.
The race for the Serere by-election is gaining momentum as different parties unveil candidates. The opposition Forum for Democratic Change becomes the second party to unveil a candidate for Serere County by-election that is slated for February 23rd, 2023. The FDC move to front Emmanuel Eratu for Serere County by-election comes barely a week after the Alliance for National Transformation unveiled Alice Alaso. We have the details.
As preparations to fill the vacant seat for Serere County constituency intensifies, the Forum for Democratic Change Party has unveiled its flag bearer for the Serere County by-elections with hope of winning the seat. The FDC president, Patrick Amuriat says the party is fronting the right candidate.
I will now introduce to you, to the country and to the people of Teso and the people of Serere, Mr. Emmanuel Eratu, who will be our candidate if he accepts to take our flag now before the media today.
Accorded with a key, which is FDC symbol, Emmanuel Eratu pledged to offer effective service delivery that have been lacking in the area.
Most of the people around are fishermen, but the unfortunate thing is fish is perishable and they have to get it and take it to the market far away in Soroti. But the road is not good at all. As a result, there are so many accidents that take place. And therefore, we have
the unveiling of the FDC candidate comes barely a week after the Alliance for National Transformation unveiled the former Serere woman member of parliament, Alice Alaso. But while ANT was banking on support from other opposition parties, the FDC says ANT has not approached them on the issue of fronting a single candidate.
Was because of irreconcilable differences. And that needs to be taken into account. We still have got to reconcile our differences. And therefore, I look forward in the future at a time when, once again, we can come back to work as a common front.
FDC insists that they have had a plan to field a candidate in each by-elections, which they cannot drop now.
But who?
The son of the late Patrick Okabe, Martin Ongurochu, Independent, Obore Joel, waiting to be confirmed by NUP as their flag bearer, and Alice Alaso for ANT. The Serere County seat fell vacant following the death of Patrick Okabe, who died in a road accident. Richard Olweny, Julius Chitone, NBS, Live at 9.
Moving on, the Permanent Secretary and Secretary to Treasury Ramadan Gobi has said that an audit on the payroll of public servants is to be conducted and establish the cause of irregularities. This as he was appearing before the Budget Committee to respond to the annual budget performance for the year 2021-2022 and half-year performance for the year 2022-2023.
Legislators sitting on the Budget Committee of Parliament asked the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Finance, Ramadan Gobi, to explain why some entities are not provided with budget for their priorities, accusing the ministry of releasing funds according to the level of lobbying. The MPs tasked the accounting officer to explain why money, according to different votes, is diverted to cater for the unknowns.
The Ministry of Finance says we have released, and this was mentioned by Honorable Musa Sazi Henry in Parliament. Then a fellow minister who superintends over the MDS stood up and said, we have not received that money. He's lying.
But it is alleged that releases are dependent on your relationship with the Minister of Finance. And Chair, I'll bring that evidence with your permission. Thank you.
Kindly stop listening to these people. I know that there has been, it's a long-standing claim. It's been there over time. This actually is corruption. As if we don't know what we are doing, we are going to carry out this audit, and whoever has been diverting people's money, or has been hosting ghosts, or has been not paying people and returning money to the treasury when he has it, those people are going to be held accountable. Trust me on this word.
He added that while there have been financial constraints, gratuity, pension and salaries have been released according to the URA collections.
Just saying I can't pay, or there is a problem, and what that entity is responsible. Because the first call on our budget, when URA gives us money like this, the first money we put aside to send to an entity is wage.
While the Permanent Secretary had been summoned to table the budget performance for the half-year 2022-2023 and an annual half-year performance for the running financial year. Shamim Nawakoza, NBS, Live at 9.
There is panic across Moroto after the unresolved prison break incident has returned to haunt the residents. In 2020, Moroto prisoners escaped with an unspecified number of guns, and it is suspected that the group has returned to cause mayhem in the district. It is believed that the group is responsible for the murder of 6 people who have been shot dead by assailants who camp on Mount Moroto and terrorize residents in the night.
For 2 years now, security officials in Moroto have failed to arrest a group of prisoners who escaped with guns from Moroto prison. The group seems to have reorganized and returned to cause mayhem in the district. In the last 2 weeks, gunshots have rocked Moroto, leaving up to 6 civilians dead.
We need help. We need help also from government and also with our security officers.
Because these incidents happen at the heart of the town.
In September 2020, Moroto jailbreakers ran out with an unspecified number of guns. By official counts, about 200 inmates escaped, taking refuge at the top of Mount Moroto.
That one has become a playground for these criminals. It has become a harboring center for these criminals. So you find that even criminals from down, they go up there and strategize to plan where to attack.
Although a bounty of 1.5 million shillings was put on information leading to the arrest of each prisoner or gun recovered, most of the escapees to date remain at large.
I want to inform the escapees that it is a matter of time. It's a matter of time. We are going to get them. They made a mistake. Those who escaped in Arua sometime, we brought them back. Those who escaped in Buko, we brought them back. These ones, we are not, in Uganda, you cannot get lost.
The leaders have called on security to take quick.
Because at the moment, the operation does not spare anyone. Once the UPDF has the right information, they will always go for you. They don't spare anyone.
I remember when we had engagement in Morulinga, the president actually confirmed to us that we will have 18 officers, police officers per sub-county. But if you go on the ground, sincerely, it's almost not there.
But as Karamoja, definitely we want to have the peace, and we shall have it because we are seeing the direction. In the past, it was about you keeping your animals. But now we are saying the security system has been put in place. Those in charge are the ones should be held accountable because you have been given all the resources.
Olivia Nakalembe, Richard Oyel, NBS, Live at 9.
Now, Brigadier General Joseph Bali Kudembe is the 3rd Division Commander of the UPDF, and he is speaking to us live out of the Northeast Karamoja sub-region. Afande, sir, thank you so much for joining us. Now, Afande, if you may, how far has the UPDF gone with pursuing those that escaped out of Moroto prison?
Yeah, those that escaped from Moroto Singira government prison, most of them have been recaptured. We are talking about 139 suspects recaptured and returned to prison. And 31 were put out of action in several confrontations. We are counting that around 87 still at large. And out of 14 guns that were stolen from government prison as the escapees were running away, there were 14 guns, but so far 9 guns have been recovered, remaining with 5 guns. And these 5 guns, we have suspects that we are zeroing on to recover the guns and arrest those criminals.
Afande, we hear voices suggesting that some of the crimes that have led to 6 dead are linked to this particular prison break. What is it that your intelligence has told us?
This particular incident they are talking about in Moroto is not related to the escapees of prison break. The 5 guns, we have an area not within Moroto, and we have information with the individuals still with those guns. And this is an incident that happened by some criminal elements, whom so far we have suspects in prison already arrested. We followed the same group. We managed to recover 5 guns in our custody, and others are on the run. And the situation is not so alarming, and we are on top of the situation. The appetite for guns really is reducing within the criminal networks.
I find it not too long ago somebody wanted to take me over to Karamoja for a social function, and when I asked around, I was told you want to be avoiding Karamoja. Now that you're here, how safe is Karamoja at the minute?
Karamoja suburbs, Karamoja town, Karamoja is safe. If you want to go for any social happenings, you are free. We have no problem. These isolated cases are being handled, and the suspects that masterminded the killing of innocent civilian 2 people, some of them have been arrested, some guns recovered, and we are pursuing more suspects. And Karamoja is really coming to stability. You know, this situation of Karamoja has been there for quite a long time. What we need is support, information from the local leadership, from the civilians, so that they can give us information to act. If you ask who are these criminals, who are these warriors they are talking about, the warriors, they have relatives, they have women, they are married, and they stay within the community. What is the key is for them to give us information for action. And I'm happy that when this one happened, we managed to come up and arrest those 546 guns from these communities. We managed also to recover 3,032 ammunitions, meaning that the Karamoja situation is healing. In totality, Operation Usalama kwa Wote, we have recovered 683 guns. And in totality, the isolated incidents, we are planning day and night to make sure that there is security situation to be stabilized in the sub-region.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Afande Joseph Bali Kudembe is the 3rd Division Commander, speaking to us live from Moroto. Next is definitely Have You Say, Kasigaram. You want to read the question?
Let's get into the question. Suggest ways in which government institutions can continue to perform in spite of the budget cuts. The
hashtag NBS Live at 9. Let's get into the comments there. Namuimba Kenneth. Namuimba.
Kenneth? Okay.
Cutting the lavish spending and proper utilization of the available funds for effective service delivery.
That's off Twitter. We have Akram Philgrin, who says unnecessary travels and non-required lead cars. In fact, most of the civil servants should be driving their own personal cars, shoulder their own fuel bills. I also learned that many get a budget to cater for their wardrobes, medical insurance for the entire family.
That was not related to anybody in government. Given that view. Bio Francis, they need to prioritize within their institutions, give attention to what they can't do without fast, and then the rest will fall in case there's some money left there. Bio is the last one. Now, we are running a poll on Nextcom, and let's give you the poll. We want you to contribute to this polls. So the question is, you want to read through that? Let me just take you through this again. Which is your main service provider for digital financial services, mobile money in Uganda? That's the poll there that we want you to get yourselves immersed into. Well, it's about now that we get into the top stories for the hour here on NBS Live at 9. President Yoweri Museveni warns government entities, that's part of our top stories. Moroto prison break returns to haunt, and as well, Select Committee on NSSF starts work tomorrow. And for more on those stories, you want to be going to www.nowpost.co.ug. We are getting into a break. But if you want a tongue twister, try to speed up saying NSSF.
More to come, brought to you by Make Your Building a Paradise. We have weather coat emulsion, undercoat emulsion, silk vinyl emulsion, flat emulsion, super gloss and high gloss. Global Paint, a reliable product.
In still to come, Toro head teachers summoned after nearly half of the candidates who sought PLE failed.
More to come, brought to you by Make Your Building a Paradise. We have weather coat emulsion, undercoat emulsion, silk vinyl emulsion, flat emulsion, super gloss and high gloss. Global Paint, a reliable product.
Okay, so these receipts, okay, plus this one equals
Keeping up with your transaction history the old way.
1,000. Okay, I got this. I don't. Okay, maybe if I can just.
Keeping up with your transaction history with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to keep an eye on your transaction history. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
So, this is where it all began. Those styles weren't working.
So we made something better.
And you didn't stop there.
We knew we weren't changing the world with our clothes, but the women who wear them might.
And you went from playing with dolls
to becoming a fashion powerhouse.
We see your braids. Katukuyande Okusesamu with Absa Business Banking. Speak to us about how we can help you get it done. That's Africanacity. That's Absa.
Introducing the PrimeLearn app. You can now top up your child's classwork using PrimeLearn. Get access to elaborate lesson videos, exercises, and revision tests by expert teachers all over the country. From nursery to primary 7, all subjects and learning areas affordably based on the Uganda curriculum. Download the PrimeLearn app from Play Store or visit www.prime-learn.com. Learn ahead of others, anytime, anywhere.
MTN Momo's giving you a reason to enjoy the back-to-school season. Skip the long lines, annoying traffic, and running around with bank slips. Pay school fees and more using your mobile phone. Simply dial *165*80# and follow the prompts. Or use the Momo app. So what are you doing today? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited is regulated by the Bank of Uganda.
What if you could boost your most loved entertainment? We're up in the ante. Upgrade your DSTV package and we'll boost you to the next higher package at no extra cost. If you're on Access and step up to Family, you get boosted to Compact.
You know what I mean.
If you're on Family, step up to Compact and we'll boost you to Compact Plus.
That's an absolute ripper.
And if you're on Compact, step up to Compact Plus. You'll get boosted to Premium.
It's gonna be lit.
Step up and we'll boost you even higher at no extra charge with DSTV.
Nivana wafe twenywele nivana wafe twenywele nivana wafe tunyola
Nirvana packaged drinking water is a product of Crown Beverages Limited, makers of Pepsi products. That's life. That's Nirvana.
Welcome back. In other stories tonight, the Shadow Health Minister, Dr. Timothy Batua, has called on the Ministry of Finance to quickly intervene in the countrywide drug stockouts in public health facilities. Dr. Batua advises the ministry to cut costs from other government MDAs and ministries to fund the limping health sector. His plea follows concerns that most public hospitals across the country have not received any supplies in a long time. Henry Mugenyi has the details.
Recently, tales of Toro Main Hospital have triggered discussions about the absence of medical supplies at this hospital for a long time.
We have 6 cycles, which make it 2 months. After every 2 months, the National Medical Stores delivers drugs and supplies to the hospital and to other facilities. So in Toro General Hospital, the last cycle we received in the month of November.
By press time, the situation that had lasted for more than 2 weeks had not changed, with patients left at the mercies of God.
People are dying. If you don't have money in the hospitals today, you can't get any treatment. You can't access even a health worker because it's all about money.
Many other patients have gone back because they don't have the money.
Across the country, government health facilities are facing a shortage, with patients now compelled to seek services at a cost from private facilities.
Yes, we've got 2 cycles. We expected what we call 3rd cycle in December, but NMS has alerted us that there will be some slight delay, arranging logistics for the whole country.
The National Medical Stores Communications Manager, Shea Nduchile, says that the Ministry of Finance has not released funds to help in the running of operations at the agency.
We acknowledge that there have been delays in the distribution of medicines to some parts of the country, but this has largely been due to delays in the release of funds, operational funds that help us in the distribution of medicines. However, NMS, just like any other government agency or ministry or department, has had challenges financially, especially this financial year.
The Shadow Health Minister, Dr. Timothy Batua, is now calling upon the Finance Ministry to urgently release the funds and save lives.
If it is priority, let them look at the various institutions that our government has, the various MDAs, the ministries, agencies and all that government has. And then they decide which ministries or agencies or departments that they will be giving money and which ones that they will not. But for health, all these institutions should get money because this is a program that in itself is a priority of a nation.
The situation, according to NMS, is not different from other hospitals and lower health centers. According to the National Medical Stores, the delays have been caused by the late receipt of funds from the Ministry of Finance at the beginning of
1% of their budget to buy medicine. We are not here to, as the Ministry of Finance, to be the one to be rational, that we don't care about human life. We do, and they have their money. So they should be able to provide medicine.
Mbara, Kabarore, Ntungamo, Guru, Soroti, and Tororo among the districts that are highly hit by the drug stockouts. Henry Mugenyi, NBS, live at 9.
Thank you, Henry. Now, Gulu City has laid off staff over accountability concerns and lack of required academic qualifications. This follows a series of investigations by the IGG and State House Anti-Corruption Unit. Benson Angom reports.
It continues with investigation into the 200 million fraud in tax management. Under the disguise of fake receipts, the city has laid off dozens of staffs related to academic qualification, and those undergoing investigation by both the IGG and State House Anti-Corruption Unit.
The town clerk have written a letter
of notification, notifying them that now we have no space to feed them. And we shall wait for their response for 1 month. After 1 month, they will be retired. That means they can now work up to at least for another 30 days.
There were others who were using other people's papers. So these ones were investigated through IGG, and they've been laid off now officially. So these ones have already gone home. There is no question about them.
In a move to see a corrupt-free city, the mayor says they found out that some staff are holding offices that they are not qualified to operate in, while others are underqualified.
There are some people who are having position who are existing in the municipal, but now is not in the existence in the city. These need postgraduates. There are other positions which need masters.
Gulu City is apparently undergoing both structural and physical changes that have seen billions of shillings sunk into service delivery projects. But governing experts say the layoff may not necessarily solve the problem.
And if it is like this, there is not going to be any difference between municipal and city and town council. We are just going to rot like that.
Gulu, being a city, is wanting in terms of economic growth, especially in benefit to the reason why the city was created, that is the local community. But I also think that the leadership of Gulu City needs to kind of like come together, because I think there is a lot of challenges right now.
Timothy Jokene, an economist, says for as long as the technical and political wing do not work together, little will be achieved in the new administration.
Because you cannot run a city alone. You need to run as a group. And what kind of group, what kind of people have we put in the steering wheel and in which direction? Number two, do we have people who know their rights in this city? If you talk about example of garbage collection, you find people are still walking and throwing garbage.
Last year, the city was investigated for mismanagement of local revenue and contracts, which has caused sharp divides with blame games between technical staff and political heads who accuse each other of fund mismanagement. To date, the city has just collected 1.2 billion, contrary to what was expected, with question of priority and management of funds remaining key on the agenda. Benson Ongam, NBS, live at 9.
Over to matters PLE, the thorough education stakeholders have tasked the Office of the District Education Officer to summon all head teachers in government schools that did not register a first and second grade in PLE results to explain the poor results. The demand comes after the district registered nearly half failure rates of the pupils who sat for the primary leaving examinations.
2022, Tororo District registered 10,138 candidates for primary leaving examinations, and out of these, 9,905 sat for the exams. Of the 9,905 candidates, only 5,688 passed in Division 1, 2 and 3, leaving 4,217 pupils scoring between Grade 4 and U, with many schools even failing to register Division 2. Of those who failed, 4,139 candidates came from government-aided schools, while only 78 are from the private sector.
Most of the teachers doing wonders in private schools, they are just there waiting for opportunity to be taken in government school. Now, when we give them job in private school, we expect them to light the ones who are there. But instead, those people water them down.
This poor performance has left several education players in the district pointing fingers on who should be held accountable.
Tororo has schools which have given up. Schools where the teachers have said, so long as I get salary at the end of the month, let them study if they want.
A section of education stakeholders claimed that there was a gap in inspection, while others pointed parents and government policies to be behind the poor results.
Let us engage teachers as much as we can, not transferring teachers left, right and center. The stability of a teacher is very key to success. You have transferred a teacher to Kisoko Boys, just